Tonight's headlines: President Rodrigo Duterte accepts PDP-Laban's nomination for vice presidential run. Senator Bongo declines PDP-Laban nomination anew. Coronavirus cases in the country at 2,134,005. Over 12,000 flee homes due to Jolina's wrath. Signal number 2 up in 13 areas. And stocks index keeps strong run. Good evening. Today is Wednesday, September 8, 2021. I am Elmer Navarro Manuel and this is Tribune News on Q. Here are the stories for this evening. President Rodrigo Duterte has formally accepted his nomination for vice president in the 2022 national elections by the PDP-Laban during the ruling party's national convention in San Fernando, Pampanga. The president stressed that he accepted the nomination for love of country and he is hoping to continue serving the Filipino people. Duterte also said he had never been engaged in corruption in his 4 decades in the government. The PDP-Laban also announced its nominees for senators, namely Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III, Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Salvador Panelo, Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugade, late Congresswoman Lucy Torres Gomez, Presidential Spokesperson Harry Roque, Public Works and Highways Mark Villar, Chairperson Greco Bellica of the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission, and Sagip Party List Representative Rodante Marcoleta. Senator Christopher Lawrence Bongo on Wednesday again declined the PDP-Laban's nomination for him to become the party's presidential candidate for the 2022 national elections, adding that being a president will be a headache. The senator stressed that he is concentrating on public service and has no interest in competition for the highest post in the country. Go had consistently declined the party's endorsement, adding that he is not interested in the presidential post. However, PDP-Laban Secretary General Melvin Matibag said they will still convince Go to become their presidential bet. The Department of Health reported 12,751 confirmed coronavirus disease cases on Wednesday, to bring the total number of infections in the country to 2,134,005, even as 5 laboratories failed to submit data on time. This brought the active cases to 151,135, and of the total, 91.6% are mild, 3.7% are asymptomatic, 1.5% are severe, and 0.7% are in critical condition. The number of recoveries, on the other hand, rose to 1,948,198 after 20,151 patients recovered from the deadly disease. The death toll now stands at 34,672 following 174 fatalities recorded. Based on reports on September 6, the Philippines was also able to test 57,260 individuals, of which 28.1% tested positive for the illness. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
It's time for the world to know. Outstanding Filipinos in America. The 11th Outstanding Filipinos in America Awards 2021. A salute to the heroes of coronavirus. Coming back live in person at Carnegie Hall in New York City. Home to the TOFA Awards since 2011.
In other news, the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council said that a total of 2,753 families, or 12,213 persons, were affected so far by severe tropical storm Jolina. The NDRRMC said there are 65 affected barangays in regions Mimaropa, Bicol, Western Visayas, and Eastern Visayas. At least 8,600 people or 1,995 families were staying inside 55 evacuation centers, while 2,378 individuals or 548 families were taking temporary shelter in the houses of their friends and relatives. Based on the report, 12 persons also went missing, and the NDRRMC said that at least 24 houses were reported damaged, 22 were partially damaged, and 2 totally damaged in Bicol region and Western Visayas. At least 50 ports have suspended operation, and due to this, around 3,230 passengers, 1,040 rolling cargoes, 26 vessels, and a motor banca were stranded in Central Luzon, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Bicol, Western Visayas, Central Visayas, and Eastern Visayas. State Weather Bureau Pagas announced that Jolina has weakened into a tropical storm, is now heading towards Bataan. Tropical cyclone wind signal number 2 remained raised over the northern portion of Oriental Mindoro, the northern portion of Occidental Mindoro including Lubang Islands, the central portion of Quezon, Batangas, Cavite, Laguna, Rizal, Metro Manila, the southern portion of Bulacan, Pampanga, Bataan, Zambales, and Tarlac. Pagasa said areas under TCWS number 2 may experience damaging gale force to storm force winds, which may bring generally light to moderate damage to structures and vegetation. Meanwhile, areas under signal number 1 may experience strong winds with occasional gusts that may result in very light damage to structures and vegetation. And in business, the Philippine Stock Exchange Index ended Wednesday higher despite uncertainty amid the spread of the Delta variant of COVID-19, but the peso depreciated against the US dollar. The main equities gauge rose by 36.68 points or 0.53% to 6,949.39 at the closing bell. The broader all shares followed with a jump of 10.53 points or 0.25% to 4,286.29. Regina Capital Development Corporation Head of Sales Luis Lamlingan said that investors considered as a positive development the government's decision to implement granular lockdowns in Metro Manila to address the rising number of COVID-19 infections, particularly due to the Delta variant. Volume reached 742.74 million, amounting to 5.87 billion pesos. Gainers led losers at 90 to 84, while 61 shares were unchanged. Meanwhile, the peso weakened against the greenback and ended the day at 50.11 from its 50.025 close a day ago. That wraps up the stories tonight, and before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store, Araneta City, Department of Tourism, and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of the Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Elmer Navarro Manuel, and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good night, and God bless us all.
Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune Digital Edition and Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its Community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarcito emoticons are also available on our Community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join.